Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had as lovely a weekend as I did here. Beautiful skies, about 70, 72 degrees, and yeah, I spent a lot of time outdoors this weekend, just soaking in some sun, breathing fresh air, and yeah, had a little bit of an early spring here. But anyhow, today I want to talk about foods I include daily on a raw food diet. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there now and hit that subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Also, too, before I get started, because there's very literal people out there, sometimes if I don't say exactly something, so it helps me, it helps my lawyer-like mind. These are the foods I include daily on a raw food diet. These are not everything I eat daily on a raw food diet. Somebody will hear that. Somebody will be like, well, you need this, you need that. There's other things I eat. I try to get a large variety, but I get asked this question a lot. What are some of the things? And some of the things you already know just from watching me. And some of you that watch me all the time don't even need to watch this. You could probably guess them before I even get started. But yes, there's other things I eat, and to get everything I need, but these are just the basics that are part of every day. Not every day. I will say that, one more little qualifier there. Like I don't have everything on the list that I eat every single one of them 7 days a week, but everything that's on this list, I eat at least 5 days out of the week. And most of them, yeah, I do get in every day. So just let me get that little disclaimer out of the way. As you know, especially here in Alabama for the last few years, bananas. Bananas are good for you. They got potassium, they got this, they got that. But for one thing, they are just my cheap bulk calories for the day. On any given day, I probably, between my banana and ice cream and my green smoothies, I'll take down 15 bananas. There's very few days that I go less than 15. I'm usually around 15, but anyhow, bananas. Now, if I were in Costa Rica, or if I were, when things change and I'm able to get back to the Asian markets on a more regular basis, I would definitely be eating more fruit. I would definitely be eating other fruits. So, like, ideally, if I was sitting in Costa Rica right now, where I used to live, there would be bananas, but there would also be mangoes every day. When I was in Costa Rica, there were mangoes every day. There was papaya every day. But we're here, so we do what we do. So bananas, that's definitely the bulk of my calories for the day. The second food group you've heard me talk about ad nauseum is the greens. I just really believe that the greens are the building blocks. They're rich in A, C, E, and K vitamins. They're high in folate. That folate's something we really need in our body. I mostly, and that's another thing, let me say this too, I'm not doing this thing ideally here in Alabama like I did in Costa Rica. As I was getting my notes ready for this, I'm like, wow, this would be different down there. I like to rotate my greens when I was in Costa Rica, because I used to get a lot of good stuff all the time. I was getting arugula, I was getting spinach, I was getting kale, I was getting chard, I was getting everything all the time at my farmers markets, and they were also reasonably priced as well. Here is pretty much kale and romaine. I have romaine in my salads, and I have kale in my green smoothies, and I cram as much in there as possible. And yeah, the greens and the fruit, that's the backbone of this diet for me. Next to come, you probably might guess, if you watch me a little bit, are the lentil sprouts. Now, I got a few notes down here. I've done videos on the lentil sprouts, lentils and lentil sprouting in particular for a while, but the lentil sprouts, I was making some notes this morning, something new. Dried lentils, one of the reasons, and this comes down to protein, amino acids, and, obviously when we're talking about proteins and amino acids, any protein the body takes in has to be broken down into amino acids. So dry lentils are actually deficient in cysteine and methionine, which are amino acids, and the sprouting increases the levels of these amino acids, which makes it a complete protein. So in that aspect, it's not just staying raw. I believe there's actually a little bit more nutrition possibly in those lentil sprouts, as there is in just dried cooked lentils. Now I suppose you could go a step further, or if you really wanted to cook them, I guess you could cook sprouted lentils. I don't know if that negates any. I didn't go that deep. I haven't looked that deep cooking versus eating the raw sprouts. I don't know if that changes it any, but the sprouting is definitely something that I highly, highly, highly recommend. And I've kind of gotten a little bit better about not having a lapse in between. In fact, I pulled a fresh batch of sprouts last night, and I ran out this morning of the previous batch before that. So I'm getting in there perfect. I try to take in about 1 cup of these lentil sprouts every day, but I've got so many seeds here, I'm thinking I might even up that a little bit and increase that to maybe 2 cups a day. What else? Oh, lentils are also high in lysine, which I'm going to get to in a minute with something else here. Another thing for me as an older guy is, trying to make sure I'm getting enough calcium, and also that I'm not losing calcium and I'm not losing bone density. So lentils are high in lysine, and lysine helps the body absorb calcium, which we lose through the urine. So the lysine might help prevent the bone loss, also associated with osteoporosis. So that calcium, that's something that's very important. It's actually more important because, as we get older, by the time you're a certain age, your bone density is pretty much set. After a certain age, I don't know how much you can actually do to help with that. But like I say, I'm just always trying to do everything that I can to be as healthy and functional as possible in the future. Which, speaking of calcium, brings it to the next thing that I have most days. And this is on a mostly raw food diet. I should have had that in the title. This is on a mostly raw food diet. You guys know I'm not trying to be 100% raw. Raw is law all the time. And this next item is not raw. It's Blackstrap Molasses. But I have probably over the last 6 or 8 months, I've really gotten steady with my Blackstrap Molasses. And the reason I like this Blackstrap Molasses is just one little simple tablespoon, just a spoonful in there, gives me gives me 20% of my recommended daily allowance of calcium. It gives me 19 or 20% of iron, so that's a good little bonus right there. And then another thing that I have almost every day, at least 5 days out of 7 of the week, are either hemp or chia seeds. And the hemp and chia seeds are for, they both are good for omega-3s, and they're also good for some extra protein. On this plant-based diet, always trying to find those plant-based sources of protein. But those are I'm going to keep it kind of short today, though somebody just asked me about that a while back, some of the things that I think that I eat every day on this diet. And those things are definitely a big part of my day. Let's see, so far today I've had bananas, I've had a salad, I've had my lentil sprouts. I'm about to go down to the park and do a workout here in a few minutes. When I come back, I'll make a smoothie, and there will be kale in that smoothie. There'll be kale in that smoothie, and there will be Blackstrap Molasses in that smoothie. And there will be some chia seeds in that movie. Did I say in that movie? I don't know why my brain's I had some movie on my mind. In that smoothie. So anyhow, I'm about to get myself down to the park and get a little fresh air and work out on my TRX. But I'll end it by just saying this though. Don't stress too much about this stuff, and don't always be going around, but what about this? Oh, what about this? I have to get this. Do you really think we're designed for it to be that complicated, what we're fed? Anyhow, just a little something to think about. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in a couple of days. Peace.